What's up, guys? Justin here with TheSketchUpEssentials.com, continuing our series on modeling a city inside of SketchUp. So in today's video, I'm going to start modeling out the pavement and some of the different landscape areas contained inside of this model. So as a part of this, we're going to utilize some extensions in order to do things that we couldn't normally do inside of SketchUp. If you're looking for more great SketchUp extensions, make sure to check out my SketchUp extensions guide at TheSketchUpEssentials.com/extensions. Now let's go ahead and just jump into it. Alright, so if you remember in the last video we came in here and we used photo match in order to detail out some of these buildings a little bit. And I may still come in and add some more detail to these buildings, but in this video what I want to focus on a little bit more is I want to focus on now adding different paving and sidewalk areas to our model. And so one thing that can be a little tricky about that is if you remember when we originally brought this in using Placemaker, what we did is we dropped this onto terrain. And I triple click on this face in here. You can see how it's not 100% flat. Even though this is a pretty flat city area, it's not 100% flat. And what that does is that makes things a little bit tricky from a standpoint of trying to come in here and add paving, because you can't just draw a line across this face because it's not a flat face. So you can't just like draw a rectangle along this face. You can see how if I try to do that using the rectangle tool, things get really kind of ugly. So you can see how this kind of goes through this face and everything else. And so what we're going to do is we're going to use a workaround for this. We're going to use the extension joint push pull. And this is something that I just kind of came up with because I wanted to be able to add these sidewalks really quickly, and it would be really nice to have a flat version of this image that I could draw on top of in order to be able to break that up really easily. And so what we're going to do in order to do this is we're going to use the extension joint push pull. And if you remember, there's a tool inside of joint push pull called vector push pull, and what that does is that has a tool in here that allows us to push pull a curved face, and it has a finishing tool called project the shape on a plane. We'll talk more about that in a second, but what that's going to allow us to do is that's going to allow us to take this image and project it onto a flat plane so we can draw on it without having to worry about the face not being flat. And so the first thing I want to do is I don't want to just push pull or use this tool on this face itself, because I want to keep this face in here in case I need it. I don't want to go in and start destructively editing it and all of that stuff. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to take this face, and you can see how right now I've had to click in here in order to I've had to click into this group in order to select this face. Well, what I want to do is I just want to make a copy of this face with the texture applied to it, and I just want to paste it outside of the group. So in order to do that, it's really easy. You can just come in here and select this face and do a Control-C to copy it, and then if I escape out of that group, then I can come in and I can do an edit, and I can click paste in place. And what that's going to do is that's going to take the face that I had copied, that's going to paste that in place. And now that that face is pasted in place, you can see how that's in here in addition to the group containing that geometry. So if I hide that face, you can see how my original face is still in here, so we won't be destructively editing that. So I'm just going to unhide the face that I just created. And so what I want to do is I want to use vector push pull to push pull this and project it onto a plane, because I want this to be flat, again, so that we can draw our shapes on top of it without really having a whole lot of problems. So to do that, we're just going to select our face. We're going to go into joint push pull, which I will link to in the notes below, and I will click vector push pull. And yours may look like this. I get a lot of questions about where the actual project on plane option is, and it's under more options. So you just come up here, click this right arrow, and it's going to show up. So what you want to do, you want to make sure that you've clicked the button for project the shape onto a plane, because what that's going to do is that's going to take this curved face and it's going to project it all onto a flat plane. So you can see how when I single click and then move my mouse up and click again, now that face that was not flat because it was terrain has been projected onto a flat plane. And you can see that more on the other side over here, where what's happened is this has been projected up, so this is all on the same plane. And what that's going to do is that's going to give us almost like a canvas or a template that we can work on top of to start tracing out our sidewalks. And then from there, we can take those and put them back on our raw face. So what we're going to do is we're just going to come in here and we're just going to trace out some of these sidewalks. And now it gets really easy to do that because this face is a flat plane. So you can just use the rectangle tool. I can come in here and I can move this end over like this. So you can see how now tracing out these sidewalks is pretty easy. And so what I'm doing here is I'm just basically tracing out the paving that's going to be on all of these faces. So I'm just coming in here and I'm just drawing lines. Based on what I can see from this map. And I may not be exactly right, but I'm going to be pretty close. And sometimes you just may not be able to drop this exactly on the axis. So like right here, for example, if I was to go along the green axis, I'd probably lose a couple feet here. So down here, I'm not going to be able to do that, but I'm just going to keep roughing all of this out. And so you can see how right here I can use the offset tool in order to offset a series of lines like that. So that makes that really easy in order to do that. Alright, so we've gone through and we've traced out a bunch of our paving. So now what we need to do is we need to take that paving and we need to drape it on the ground underneath. Because really what we're trying to do with this, and I'm going to go ahead and erase out these edges, so this is one interrupted face. What we're trying to do with this is we're trying to use this to break up the terrain below it in order to have a face that we can then where we can start applying colors and thickness if we want to this face, because we don't want to just leave this as an image. We actually want to model out some of this stuff. And so I would recommend saving a new copy of this before you move forward, just in case you need to come back in here and use this background image for something else. You probably want to save this just so that you have this face in another model that you can bring in case you need to. So I'm going to go ahead and save this. So we need to take this and we need to get this into the group where this face is so that we can drape it. And so the way that we're going to do that is we're just going to double click on this, and you could triple click if you wanted to in order to get all the connected faces. So either way, you're just going to select this whole thing, and then you're going to do a Control X. That's going to cut that. And then we're going to click into this group with this face, and we're going to do an edit paste in place. Remember, edit paste in place will drop this in place without moving where any of the geometry is. And so now you can see how these are both in here as raw faces. Since they're in here as raw faces, what we can do is we can use the SANDBOX tool's Drape tool in order to drape this across this face. So you're going to want to start by selecting this face that you want to drape in here, and then you're just going to go into SANDBOX tools and you're going to click the button for drape. So when you click the button for drape, this is going to ask you which mesh on which you want to drape this. And so in this case, I'm going to move my mouse over this, and that's going to drape this in here. And now if I go into this group or into this face and look at this, you can see how, for the most part, and I'm going to go ahead and hide this, this has been draped onto this face. But we do have some issues over here that we need to come in here and fix. So we're just going to come in here, and it looks like one of the lines that's right here didn't get brought in. So in this case, this is pretty flat, so I can just draw a line across this face in order to heal this. If it's not flat, then you're going to have to do a little bit more work in order to get this to work quite the way that you want it to work. But so what we have now is we've actually taken our paving layout and we've draped it onto this face so that it's its own face. Well, now I can come in here and I can apply a material like a gray or something like that that's actually been applied to this face for our concrete. And so you can use this method really anytime you have a terrain like this or something that's kind of non-flat in order to create things like this paving and things like that. And so you may end up coming in here and applying, depending on what it is, you may end up coming in here and applying something like a paver's material or something like that. So if you have like you may end up applying like a modular brick material or something in here. So this, for example, might have a modular brick, and so you might end up applying a paving in there. And so I'm just going to go through and I'm just going to apply some more paving in here, and I will speed this up, but I'm just going to kind of detail out this area. So I'm going to detail out this area here so that I can kind of rough out a more accurate version of my roads using this same method. Then I may also continue some of my paving and other things over here as well. So I'm going to speed this up, but if you have any questions about this, feel free to leave a comment in the notes down below. Alright, so what this workflow did is this put me in a position where now I have my paving, my landscape areas, and my roads kind of set up separately. So now I can come back and start adding things like vegetation and trees and things like that. So that's where I'm going to end this video. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you thought. Do you like this workflow? Are these videos interesting to you? I just love having that SketchUp conversation with you guys. If you like this video, please remember to click that like button down below. If you're new around here, remember to click that subscribe button for new SketchUp content every week. If you like what I'm doing in this channel, please consider supporting me on Patreon. Every little bit helps, even if it's only $1 a month. So make sure you check out that link in the notes down below. But in any case, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. I really appreciate it, and I will catch you in the next video. Thanks, guys.